Model Master plastic cement. Well, hello
Thank you.
everyone. I hope everybody's having
Hello.
a fantastic Monday. Happy week starts. Bleh. To all of you people that have to work today, you all feel the same pain I do. So I'm going to take out my stress on one of my own models with my Night Prowler Lieutenant that I am currently in the process of painting. Now, I've decided to do the painstaking work of doing NMM on the metal for him, just because I'm trying to push my knowledge, push my skills, all of that good stuff. So, as you can see, I've done a bunch of it so far on my shield. Need to get my spot here figured out, so she's not all blurry on you guys. Would help if I had the right settings. Doop, 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 doop. There's my shield. So, I typically don't paint NMM. Never done it before, so that's why I want to give it a whirl, so that way I can start offering it to customers, because I really like the way that it feels and it looks, because you can get that sheen that you really want, give it more texture, make it look, in my opinion, more realistic. And art is art. So, I've been learning some gold recipes here, and I've tried a couple different techniques so far on this guy, just to figure out how I want to do the blendings, what kind of streaks go where, trying to anticipate what kind of light would be working where, all of that good stuff. So on the left side of the shield here is, I think that what I'm actually going to go with is a lot more fades in, fades out, and stuff like that. Because my first attempt, as you can see on this right side, I was going more with like straight line bands, like you would on a cylinder, like you would see on a can in the light. You would see your bright light, coming down straight down. I really don't like that feel. Like, it makes more sense down here where it's more wider, and up here at the top where it's more wider, because then the light band's going across. But these smaller golds, trim pieces, I'm just not feeling it. I'm not getting the texture and the feel that I want. So I decided to go with a different style on this side, and I think I found what I like. Because now I can get it so it fades in and out, like the light's reflecting in different spots. So that's what I think I'm going to stick with. So I need to catch up, basically go back and redo this side so that way it all matches nicely, and then finish the gold trim across the rest of the cross around these skulls here. As you can see, I already went and I figured out my NMM style that I want to use for my metal bits. It's not actual metal. Give it a little bit more of a blue feel, and it's actually, to me, pays a little bit more homage to my Space Wolves, because those are actually Space Wolf colors that I use for NMM. Some rust grays, some Phoenician, some Fang, some white. It actually, to me, came out with a nice, it almost reminds me of more of like a mithril instead of a steel. So, that's where we be at, folks. That's where we be at, folks. Chuck, I see you there, already in the text. Welcome back, my friends. I hope you're having a good Monday, as well as anybody can on a Monday workday. So, where do I want to start? I'm going to have to erase some of my previous work, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. See, look, he's stoked. He's stoked for that Monday fun.
Monday fun day?
Monday fun day. So this base color I'm using for this, after a little bit of research, trying to figure out where I wanted it, my very first attempt came out to a very pale yellow, which didn't look bad by any means, but it was too yellow. It reminded me too much of the old school style, yellow on trim and everything like that, instead of actual gold. Because gold's got more of that brown in it than yellow. If it is, I can fix that in 2 seconds for you, buddy.
I have music on stream. Like, I have my sound turned off for stream, so I don't have echo, so I'm not sure.
You know, Chuck, as they say, if it's too loud, you're too old. No, I'm kidding. I'll get it here in a second. It's okay, because we go boom.
The normal thoughts in my head drowned him out too, so yeah, I definitely wouldn't know.
Oh, come on, Chuck. It's okay, buddy. I didn't mean it. Come back. So now I gotta erase
Chuck,
this.
no one's joining us tonight.
My melodious voice. Oh. I'll start singing those bars here for you a minute. Alright. So that base coat I just put down is a mixture of XV88 and Baller Brown, which I actually sent out my little brother to the store to get because I really wanted to do this. You can ask Kendall. I was kind of like, I don't care. I need to do this. Like, meow.
Right, meow.
I mean, is it really punishment to send somebody to a gaming store anyways? I mean, besides on your wallet. This next color I'll be applying on this side after erasing some of my work is Zamzi Brown, which I'm using as my first highlight. I'm going to come in here, start placing, marking out where I want my light reflections. So we're going to put one there. One here. See, Chuck likes to go to the store. I'm sure you'd like to go to the store even more if it wasn't even on your own money. Okay. Trying to be careful. I actually almost broke off one of his halo marks, his spikes earlier. I was kind of sad. Put one there. And why not? We'll put another one right here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spots we'll be highlighting. They finally got you, huh, Chuck? They're like, Chuck hasn't bought anything in a while. What can we put out to entice his wallet? All right. So next what I'm going to do is take some of that mix of the XV8 and Baller Brown. I'm going to start fading these in so that way they're a nice blend. So I'm going to start on the highlight itself and start pulling towards the dark spots. That way the pigment that I leave behind tints the higher color but deposits the most back into the darker color, which is what I want. Because I don't want to leave big atrocious lines behind. And if you do this correctly, You won't be able to tell really when one color starts and one ends. It's just kind of like a nice, smooth, rolling motion between colors. Paint. All right. So.
Red said your mic is very low.
My mic is low? Hey, Red.
What's
up, buddy?
Hi, Red.
Let's see if I move this over here. Find my mic. How about that? Is that better? Can you hear my, as Chuck says, my melodious voice? All right, prepping my next highlight, which is a mixture between Zamzi and Ushanti. I'm going to basically do the same step, but I'm going to get a little bit closer in here. So now I'm trying to start smaller in. We're just going to move around to each one of these little spots.
You said it's still the same.
All right, let's do a sanity check. Chuck, am I quiet for you?
Chuck said after the old comment, I figured you were just bumbling. And then you said yes.
All right. What's going on with you today, Mike? Let's turn that off here quick. Is that any better? Do I need to yell? About the same. What is this shenanigans?
Red said a little better.
I wonder what's going on, because I got basically everything full blast.
Chuck said, speak up, son. See, I hear you just fine, but I'm also listening to you through Discord.
All right. You know what? Let's see what's going on in my world here. Okay, so that's turned off. I mean, do you really want me to answer that? Here, let me shut the music off here quick. See if that helps at all. Because if not, then I'm going to start adding the gain here. Because maybe that'll help. Me? Feisty? Never. I am just an innocent person.
Yeah, okay.
Perfect. All right, sweet. All right, now that we have the highlights knocked out, let's grab some darker colors and start getting those lows back. So with this, I'm going to thin out some Dune Bowl Brown to like almost like a glaze. And then I'm going to start picking out my spots here. So this needs to be darker. This spot over here needs to be a little bit darker. We'll go probably right about in here in between. Just start pushing it from the sides towards the middle. Throw a little bit of it down here. A little bit in here. We'll give that a second to dry. And this is basically just a giant blending game. So now I'm going to go back with that XV88 compound that we made here and then fade back towards the light just to help get rid of any harsh edges, because I want these colors to blend together, not be too rough. Well, that sounds like a very busy time there, buddy. That's all I got to say to that. Pop open my shade here quick. So for this, to even darken out some of those shadows more, I'm going to grab some Argrax Earthshade, a little bit of Leyham Medium, just to thin it out even more. Get most of it off my brush. And now I'm going to come in here and really start tinting down where I put that Dune Bowl. Alright, now you see that there's a color difference between the top right compared to the left and bottom. There's a reason for that. It's basically I put a filter over the top of that. And to do that, what I basically did is I took some Uriel Yellow and I thinned the crap out of it with Leyham Medium, a little bit of Fro Improver and stuff like that. So it's basically almost nothing. And then with this, I can tint this to a proper color. So with that concoction I made, I'm now going to go over the entire spots that I've painted, which will then give it more of a gold yellow tinge without making me lose any of the textures I've added or gradients. And as you can see now, it's starting to blend in with the rest of the shield. Once that dries, we have one less step for that NMM recipe, and that is to come over with some actual white and start highlighting and throwing some dots in there and stuff like that for your gleaming effects. Now, normally I would use white scar for this, but my white scar kind of died. We need to buy more. So, Quartermaster, put that on your list.
What?
White scars died.
Okay.
So instead I'm going to use gray sear for right now. So with this, I'm going to go out and basically panel line. Go around all of the edges, bring them up to that nice white gleam. Oh, how I love to panel line. You got me figured out, Chuck. That's what I want to do for a living, is panel line all day.
That is what you do. Well, not for a living, but never mind.
Alright, so these darker spots, like right here, I'm going to come in. Add a little bit of a reflection dot. It's a little bit bigger than I wanted.
Ow.
So we'll come down here, we'll add another one. Let's see here, we got another dark spot here. Looks like I still need another one right there.
Oh no. Not more hands.
Error. Jesse's broken. So basically with that almost completes. I need to add a few other lines here. But that's basically the recipe, which is going to finish out that top panel. Just going to throw in some more spots here and there. So that takes care of that top right hand corner. Obviously we still need to get this and then the rest of the cross. NMM takes a while to do. So I'll give you guys the option here, just because I'm being indecisive, which happens when you're an artist once in a while, is I can continue on the gold on this shield, or I can start working on some of this black here and show you what that's going to look like. It's going to look mostly like this chest, but with these bigger panels I can give a little bit more of a reference of what's going to happen here. Dealer's choice. Alright. Chuck wins. So let me grab my handy dandy colors here. It'll be Abaddon Black, Dark Reaper, Oh, Dawnstone. I already got my grace here. So, get these on my palette. We can continue on our adventure. You and me both. It was one of those days I got beat by a printer. Alright, so I'm going to start with that. Finish that waist armor he's got going on here. So it looks like I started by marking out my highlights. So I'm going to take a 50-50 mix of Dark Reaper and Abaddon. It's alright now. I think what I did is I pinched a nerve in my wrist. After messing with it, I heard a pop, and my hand's fine now. So that's it.
You did a dumb and then corrected it with another dumb.
That's right.
Because I recommended him the Epsom salt bath. I was willing to make it, and then we had a meeting, and he started messing with it, and all you heard was pop, and then he's like, I think I fixed it.
I'm good now. You have no idea, my friend. One thing Space Marines love is panel lines. Alright, so let's start sketching this so we can get it blended. So this is a 50-50 between Dawnstone and Dark Reaper. See if we can get this better on camera here. A little bit more water. So we got that. And then we got our light banding lines. See if I can get it. Yeah. Big Space Marine boy. I still got one of those I still got to do, too. I got to do that all again, this time in white. Just trying to smooth out some of these lines here quick. Jump over to my pure Dawnstone. Nice and thin. If it even wants to come out of my brush. Nope, it says no.
No, it was him being stupid with the wrist.
No, it is work related.
Still
Me
gonna
fixing
kinda
it wasn't work related.
I still prefer mine. Because normally when you do hurt yourself, it's because of something stupid.
Mm-hmm. I can't lie.
Almost 175% no. He did not actually tell his HR.
Nope, sure didn't. If I would have really, really hurt myself, yes, I would have. But I mean, I just popped something in my wrist. Like, if my hand would have went numb or something like that, then I would have. Our HR is really good, actually. She's very nice. She's like my work mom.
My favorite thing still is when she called me and asked if she could give you my final paycheck instead of me having to come in.
Yeah?
And me just saying to her, "You're not afraid he's gonna steal it?" And she's like, "No. Jesse wouldn't do that." All I could think of was suck up.
Not a suck up. I'm just trustworthy. Why you gotta put that on me? Add a little bit more definition with some of these light bands. Now I could continue that all the way up, which I might. I might bring in some other colors just to add a little bit more flavor. Make it like maybe a cooler metal. I'm still debating it in my head. Alright, so now I need my actual bright color, which I'll be using gray sphere for this time. Now I'm going to start picking out spots where to really highlight. So I want this corner here. There is a rivet. So we'll grab that quick. So I feel like I need to add some like kind of a blue hue to that. So let me think here. Kind of bluish hue. No. I think I'm going to pay homage to my wolvies. Use a little bit of russet gray. This could be a mistake. This could be a mistake. I don't know yet. And then I'm going to thin the crap out of it. So I'm going to basically make a filter. Grab just a hair of this rust. I'm going to douse it with Layham medium. I think I need a black filter to restore my black. Let that dry for a second. So yeah, I think I need to add a little bit more of a blue tinge in there for when I'm painting this metal, for the black at least. So we're going to wait that for a second and then we will move on. It's a reason I like to do these every once in a while. Is just literally try new concepts, try new things, you know, throw paint at it, see what's going to work, see what it's not, and just try new recipes. So I'm trying to remember what I added into that chest piece. It was a while ago now. Great thing with when you're applying filters like this though is you notice like I just put 2 coats on there. Yes, it's tinted down, it's tinting down, it's tinting down. I can control. It kind of does. But that's my my usual black highlighting, but I usually don't use it for light banding. Because like with light banding, you know, you have the light reflecting off the black, but then you have to choose between like either a cool color, a neutral color, or a warm color. And that all will depend on which colors to add in there. Like cool, you'll add like a little bit of a bluish gray in there to help, you know, give it like its cold armor. You know, neutral colors are basically what I normally do. And I'm trying to remember what the warm colors are. Because obviously it's not like reds and stuff like that, which you would naturally think sometimes. It's, I almost want to say it's got some browns in it. Alright, so I'm going to go back and I'm going to start bringing back up some of these highlights that I had before. But yeah, so basically that's going to look a little bit more like that. I'm going to play with my blacks just a little bit more because I liked what I did with that chest. I know it was one of my rust colors. I don't... Maybe I... This is what happens when you color blend. You forget your colors.
Pretty sure you used dress gray because you would ask me for it when you did the black.
This is very true, but at the same time, that does not mean I didn't mix it with something else.
Oh yeah, I have no idea. Wahaha, burn. What?
What?
I'm burning corpses.
It's a very sister thing of you to do. So we're going to throw some of that in there and then pop our Dawnstone back on and see what that does. I had a feeling it was more like that. Because that's starting to feel like it belongs with that chest piece a little bit more. So that's a mixture of Rust Gray and Dark Reaper. I think that's what I did. Sounds about right, because it's about the midway point. Since I put so many glazes on that, put that here. Now, if you guys have seen my Facebook or anything like that, I'm sure you have seen Boy Loki. Not fun
Boy
blending.
George.
Yes, Boy George. I just need to start finishing up his hair and a couple of black pieces as well. Get that base finished. Some Scarlet Witch action. And then Boy Thor is over in another place right now. He's in timeout. More like I just can't reach him. So I have a feeling I need to do this leg.
Is it bothering you?
Well, that's the next step to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have not seen that red. Is it good? Dude, awesome. I'll have to check those out. Start popping in some of these black highlights on this leg. It's a very hard spot to get to while keeping it so you can see it, unfortunately. And just start working up my colors here. So next we have that mix that I made. So after getting this on there, you should be able to see what I'm doing. Gotta love that shadow. Gonna have this big old shield casting all these shadows. And of course we got to add just our little pop of white in there just to finish it off. So go right here to the tip of the toe. And then we'll hit the same side. Now we get to play with that actual panel where you can actually see what's going on. Alright, so let me sketch out what I want to do here quick. So I'm going to come down about right here. Add another one right here. let's grab our Dark Reaper here and actually start getting it to pop out.
I've returned.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Alright. Let's add some more color into this bad boy. Need a smaller brush for this. Getting to that point where I'm getting fine lines.
Can you hear me?
I sure can.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Now we need to jump back to that gray sear that we were using before. And now this is a selective highlight. So we're going to hit where that light is hitting the harshest. As soon as it wants to behave for me. So we're going to throw some there. I'm going to come in here, put a little bit there. Find these corners here. Let's start feathering in everything. Dude, do you, Red? This is just hanging out, talking while I sit there and go on and on and on about painting black, dude. All the black. So now I need a little bit on the back of his decap here. That's what it's for, dude. Well, as much as possible. I am not the greatest painter of all time. But if I can share what knowledge I do have, I am more than happy to do it. Start prepping this skull for its gold. in there and get the little triangles. Oh, there it is. I just felt my wrist pop again. Must stay still. What's the problem that he has? Ow. Your primer's too thin. Like, what kind of primer are you using?
I think it was the Vallejo metal.
Vallejo metal? Is it like out of a rattle can, or are you running it through an airbrush, brushing it on?
Vallejo Mecca.
Run it through an airbrush? What are you using to thin it? It's thin from the bottle. It shouldn't be thin from the bottle. You might need to shake it like crazy for like 10-15 minutes if it's that thin. Because it shouldn't be that thin. Because your Mecha Vallejo is basically the same thing that we use. And it shouldn't be like that. Anytime that I've ever had it come out thin, it's just because it's separated in the bottle. There you go. Don't throw it in the
because
sheet.
if we don't properly shake some of our paints, mostly the golds and the brass and bronze,
You
we
have a child for that, Chuck.
Yeah, you do have a child for that. But no, if we try and like just pour that out of the bottle without shaking at all, we just get like a tinged liquid. We have to like really shake it up, which is why the why we got the thing to do the thing.
We got the thing to do the thing.
Shut up. I've only ever thinned one metal paint, and that was literally a lead belcher because it was so thick. Otherwise, I've never had to use a thinner with metal.
Yeah, I mean, I personally always thin basically anything that goes into my airbrush, unless it's airbrush paint that was designed to go through an airbrush. Even then, I still thin it sometimes.
Weird.
Yeah, see that's weird. Like, the only thing that comes to mind if that's the case, and that is weird too, because your 0.5 shouldn't splatter. Like, it should actually be easier to spray out of a... You should be able to spray thicker paint through a 0.5 compared to a 0.3.
You broke it.
So it sounds like there's something up with that bottle. Because that ain't normal, homie. That ain't normal. That is not working as intended.
wish my head would stop crackling. What?
Just everywhere, huh?
What? What?
I think you broke Kendall with that one.
A bit.
For everybody, we all need to remember Kendall hasn't watched barely anything. She lived under a rock.
Thanks. Do you feel the love tonight? Thanks, hon.
You're welcome.
They can't hear me.
How about now?
Hello? Konnichiwa. Have I just been muted this entire time?
No. I don't think so.
Apparently, yes. Yes, I have.
I don't know what you're talking about. I played the 5th.
I see how this is. Thanks for pointing that out for him.
All I could say is I promise I didn't do it on purpose.
Like, I've been talking this entire time thinking y'all can hear me.
All I could say is I didn't do it on purpose.
Well, you would have thought Chuck would have pointed it out. see how it is.
I didn't do it on purpose.
No, but you've now been sounding like you're talking to yourself.
I'm crazy. It's okay. I think everybody's already anticipated that.
All I want to do is be able to make marble gravestones.
You know, I know you're mad at me, but damn. I don't need a gravestone yet. It's very true, Chuck.
I'm literally playing a game about burying.
Burying your boyfriend? Got it.
I'm playing Graveyard Keeper, so it is actually a game. This doesn't mean that it's not preparing me for the real world.
I am now fearing for my life.
So apparently my headset does not like me sitting on the couch.
Getting that
Welcome!
NMM.
Thank you for
Well,
the raid!
hello. Thank you for coming. I hope you guys are having a good night, day, wherever you're from. I need a tinge of red. A tinge. Alright, so I'm going to grab some of this other filter that I made. We're going to give this a whirl. So this is Evil Sons down to a super thin glaze. Thank you. Appreciate it. Feather in just to help give this a little bit more of a red tinge. Just in the shadowy area. And then I see that my white has died. Yeah, Holly, this is one of my own personal units here. One of my night prowlers. So I'm using him as kind of a test bed for some techniques that I don't get to use a lot, just to kind of brush up on my skills. So what I've done with him so far is some light banding on the greaves. I've also done some NMM on the shield here. And I'm just kind of working through the colors here, getting it where I'd like it to be. A little bit of white there. See if I can get that up a little bit closer so you can see that. I need to go in there and do a little bit of blending on that greave that you pointed out, because it's not quite feathered in yet. It's kind of just like marked everything out. Slow and steady. Slow and steady wins the race. Throw a little bit of that together. So a little Dark Reaper, a little Abaddon, just to get me my halfway point. Go in here and start feathering some of that Dark Reaper together. So Chuck's still here. We're gonna have some wolfies here pretty soon for you on stream.
We'll also have some Space Marines.
Always Space Marines. Space Marines for days.
I was trying to make a joke.
Oh.
With the wolves.
Yeah, I got you now.
Took you a second.
Just a little bit.
I love you sometimes.
It's getting late for me. My brain's like, okay, you're done. Shut it down. Go to bed. And just like an unruly kid, I'm like, no, I don't wanna. You can't make me. Start feathering in some of this eminent color on these triangles. So I'm gonna take the spots that you see most here. I'm gonna make those the brighter side, and then the other side I'm actually gonna make darker, just to play with the light. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna move up to some Ushante. One little triangle, two little triangle, and then I'm actually going to come over just down the tip here with some off-white, just to help give it that sheen effect. And then we're going to go back and hit it with our darks. So I'm going to go back with some really thin down Doom Bowl. This is going to be on the opposite side. I could even get to the opposite side. Then we're going to come back with our tint, which is a Uriel yellow, super thin down. Just to go over the colors, bring them all together. Give those tans and brown a little bit of a yellow feel to help blend it in as a gold. And while I'm at it, because I do have that line, but I haven't done anything with it yet, I grab a little bit of Dawnstone. Right off that greave here. add a little bit of a line. Oh, we need to turn it a little bit. It's very important that it lines up with the rest of it. And I'd left that gap there in the middle on purpose. And my Dark Reaper is about dead. Now I'm going to bring that in back with some grays here. And I don't know if you guys like to do this, but when I panel line or draw lines, I don't like 90-degree angles on the corners. I like to curve them. Because to me, it's like, light's going to hit that spot and it's going to saturate that area. So it's not going to be like, straight, light, 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 turn. It just doesn't work like that usually. But I know you guys just joined me, but it's actually past my time now. But I'm going to go for just a little bit longer for you guys.
Apparently, according to your session countdown, you still have 30 minutes.
I do, don't I? Oh, I did start late. That's right. See, we got Kendall up here being the voice of reason.
Hi.
Basically, she's telling me, it's like, no one said you could stop painting. Keep going.
So I'm doing my job.
Yep. Nailed it. Alright, so with this NMM gold here, I'm not too sure to do with what this cross that he's got laying down here, but I do know what to do with this. So I'm going to start knocking out some spots where I want my highlights to be. So we'll go there, we're going to add a little bit of a break. Throw another one right there. So we'll do those two spots. Now we're going to go back with our other color, which is XV88 and Zamzy Brown mixed together. Thin it out.
Every time you call it Zamzy, I'm like, you're saying
Zamzy.
Xandry wrong.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah?
It's a habit.
And I'm going to start fading these colors together. So I'm going to start from the highlight I just put down and come towards the darker area. That way when I leave paint off, it's going to deposit where it's supposed to be darker anyways. See ya. The goal is basically to get it so you can't tell where one color starts and one ends. And then we're going to just basically work our way up. So that was that Zamzy for the highlight. So we'll grab a dollop of that, some Ashanti bone, about a 50-50 mix, swirl that together, throw a little bit of water in there, thin it down. And we're going to come back to our highlight spot here. I'm going to start right on this corner. I'm going to push out just a hair, both directions. And then same down here. So I got that blend where it meets. Start back here. Go maybe just a little bit further. And then we have to go back down to our Zamzy and then blend that in. So that way it flows into that color that I just took away from it. So I'm going to come over here, I'm going to swipe towards the Zamzy. And if I get it into the other mix, that's fine, because I can come back and reblend that out too.
Thank you. I know Jesse would say thank you too.
What I miss?
Gaster Two Soul said these things look amazing. It's just an entire army. Probably cost me my entire mortgage.
Yeah. Well, I mean, not your entire mortgage. Maybe a quarter.
Also, I do apologize for anyone that did just join. I'm trying to read stuff out. Jesse doesn't always check chat, so I like to keep him updated.
Well, see, I also appreciate that because I do miss it. Just like, you know, now I just looked down and I saw that my chat box decided to pause. So the last thing I saw was Holy Man, or Holy Fire Man, great so far, love the blend. That's all I saw. So let me catch up here quick. All right, so Red left us, 100% yes from Holy. Thank you, appreciate it. Gaster, again, thanks, I much appreciate it. I don't want your mortgage, I don't. Maybe a sliver of it, but just, I think we're good. All right, so I'm gonna move on to Pure Ushanti Bone. And this is my last step before I start getting into the whites.
This is Jesse's custom chapter. They're called the Night Prowlers, and they will be a sub-chapter
Yeah.
of the Space Wolves, right? Correct? I did a thing. Also, for people not or confused, not what? For anyone new, the painter currently on your screen is Jesse. He is the owner of Mini Freak Studios, and the lovely female voice you hear, hello. I'm Kendall. I'm Jesse's girlfriend and one of the painters at Mini Freak Studios.
She's the one to make sure to keep me in line.
Yes.
Alright. So now we got our gold, light golds feather in. Let's feather in our dark golds. So we're going to jump back to our dark Doom Bowl here. And we're going to just start feathering in where we want it. So we're going to have a dark spot here. So that should be a good spot. And I'm actually going to have it kind of wrap back here.
Gaster said, interesting, I have a couple chapters of my own along with an entire legion known as the Survivors.
With a name like Survivors, obviously something happened to them. I'm kind of curious. I hear some lore. Alright, now I'm going to grab my base color here quick because I need to feather that in. So, same concept, but now we're going to go on a little bit of reverse. I think I might have went a little too overboard with that one. It's fine, we'll fix it in a second. It's a fun thing about wet blending. You can literally go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until you're happy with the placements. Alright. So now I'm going to grab some of that gray sear again. I'm going to hit the very corners. Get that nice, bright, shiny color going on. Add a line through my dark. Add a couple little spots here and there. Now we go back to our handy dandy filter, which is our Uriel Yellow, super thin down. I'm just going to glaze right over top of everything. To help bring that into an actual gold. Named the survivors because they're a very useful genetic trait. Their gene seed allows them to adapt to their environment, whether through combat or on a planet. That is a very nice trait to have.
No, it all made sense.
No, you're good, Gaster. I want that gene seed. Drop me off anywhere, I'm good.
We'd be up to 5 Illinois.
Unfortunately, though, Gaster, it's nice to meet you. You too, Holy. I hope to see you around more. I'm going to end the stream because my wet pellet's dying on me. And I'm not going to open up more paint for 5 minutes worth of work. Because that would just be a waste of paint. Appreciate it, Gaster. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you for the follow. I had to actually double check that. My brain just like, you have no idea what that just said. Look at it again.
Gotta do a double take on that one.
A little bit.
Holy, if you're still here, appreciate it, man. Thanks for bringing friends. Next time, drinks are on me. If I could give it to you. Yeah, you know. Oh, Chuck's still here. Good night, Chuck. Have a good one, man. I'll see you next time.
Have a good night, everyone.